With Stingrays President Rob Concannon on an exciting day for the South Carolina Stingrays organization. Stingrays Hall of Famer Jared Bednar has just been named the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. A great honor for a guy that is really synonymous with Stingrays hockey in the Low Country. And Rob, can you tell us a little bit about what you know about the process, being a good friend of Jared's, and most of all, just how exciting of a day is this for this organization and for Jared?
Yeah, I think about 10 days ago, we had a nice little get-together at Jared's house, a nice little pool party of some former teammates, Dan Fornell, myself, and Jason Fitzsimmons, Trevor Johnson. And I think that's when Jared got the initial call about the position and Colorado's interest in speaking with him. And I think he headed back to Cleveland last week to kind of prepare for the meeting with the Avalanche. I think Friday was his formal interview. Spoke to him yesterday and the day before. He seemed a little excited to hopefully have an opportunity to be the next head coach for the Avalanche. And like everyone else, I found out today on social media. Texted Jared a couple times. He never responded. I think he's a little busy right now. Actually texted with his wife, and his wife, I don't know if she was fooling, but she said she didn't know, and she hadn't gotten in touch with him as well. But from an organization standpoint, couldn't be prouder of Jared. We think highly of him, but we also knew that eventually he was going to be a head coach in the NHL. And his last 14 years, it's been a journey for him, and we're just so excited for him and his next opportunity.
You mentioned you knew he would be a head coach and had a chance to play with him, and then he comes behind the bench as an assistant under Jason Fitzsimmons, and then as a head coach. Just as a player, as someone being around him in the Charleston community, what special attributes did he have that made that so apparent to a hockey guy like yourself?
Jared was smart, and he analyzed the game well. He thought the game well. He wasn't the best skater, but he was. You could tell that he had something in him that was special. He was a defensive defenseman, but when he transitioned into the assistant coach's role and then the head coach, he was only here for 2 years as a head coach, and then he moved on and to Abbotsford, and then to Peoria, and then to Springfield. It was just something about him. He's cool, calm, and collective. He was hard at times, but fair. And I think the biggest thing was that the guys all wanted to play for him and respected the hell out of him. And in today's day and age, that's pretty important for somebody to have behind the bench, somebody that the players can look up to and respect and go out there and play hard for.
With Stingrays President Rob Concannon on the news, Jared Bednar named the new head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, and you mentioned some of those good times that you had with Jared Bednar, winning a championship as a player with him, and then bringing a couple more to this city as well. Place that he still calls home. How special is this area kind of been to him? As you know him as a close personal friend, it's nice to see a guy that's got ties with the Stingrays, but the area as well in the NHL.
This is home for Jared, just like myself and Fitzy and some of the other guys who have retired playing. Jared's left here in the winter times to go coach. His family stays here. But like you said, our team, our organization in the city is a huge part of Jared's life and his makeup. He was very kind and came to our Fan Fest last month after a whirlwind Calder Cup championship. He sat there with a smile on his face. I think he enjoys and respects our fan base and loves talking to him. And it's always good to kind of be in Jared's presence and catch up with him. There was a group of us who, from '95 to 2000, we were pretty close at the hip, and he's one of those guys. So I think it's great for the Charleston community as well. So now everyone in the youth hockey program and players and coaches alike can see that somebody who spent a good portion of his hockey life in a place like Charleston was able to continue to grow as a person and as a coach and ultimately become a head coach in the NHL.
Lastly for you, Rob, this is just, I think, another feather in the cap of the Stingrays organization, from a couple players making their NHL debut this year to staff members moving up to the next level. Now first coach to move on to the National Hockey League and be the main guy behind the bench. What does that say just about 24 years of something special here in the Low Country for not only the players but the guys that make things go on the hockey side of it and the office side of it as well.
Yeah, if you go through the list of coaches, Rick Vive, Rick Aduno, Jason Fitzsimmons, Jared Bednar, Cale McLean, Spencer Carberry, now Ryan Wasowski. That's a pretty good group of guys and a pretty knowledgeable hockey minds as well. I think we've always been on the radar of NHL and AEHL teams, and this is just a culmination of that with somebody like Jared finally getting the opportunity to be a head coach. And it's been a long road. I mean, Jared's been, I think, coaching for 14 years off and on, you know. But I think we'll see some other guys down the road behind the bench as well, with a Spencer Carberry, maybe a Ryan Warsawski. Jeff Camilio is somebody that always comes to mind as well. He was an equipment manager when I was playing here, and he's been the second in Nashville for the last 8 years. Darren Abbott, previous president, has had a pretty successful career after he's left here as well, with the Ontario Reign and the Manchester Monarchs winning the Calder Cup championship. So, yeah, I think we're an organization that has a group of owners that are there to support us and provide us with the tools necessary to do good, and then ultimately give us the reins and let us carry the ball a little bit. But I've always been proud to be a part of the organization, and today probably is one of the proudest moments of my time here.
Well, that text message or call from Jared will come eventually. Rob, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us here on another very exciting day here. Middle of summer, they keep coming for the Stingrays. It gets us ready for that year 24, and we can't wait. Absolutely.
We got another wonderful year coming up. I think we have a lot of good things going on right now, Zach, as well, with the jersey contest and some of the signings, and Ryan's working hard. The staff's doing a terrific job. Ticket sales are ahead of this pace last year. Corporate's going well. So, I'm real excited about the 2016-17 season.